The story begins in the sun-drenched villages of southern Italy during the 1950s, a time when old traditions clashed with the stirrings of rebellion and raw human longing. In one such village, a bold and spirited woman dreams of love, justice, and freedom. But when she follows her heart into a forbidden affair, the fragile world around her begins to fall apart. Inspired by true events, The Last Paradiso is a stirring and tragic tale of love defied, courage tested, and sacrifices made. If you're captivated by stories where passion and rebellion collide, this one is for you. We open on the golden countryside of post-war Italy. A young woman named Bianca laughs and flirts with a charming local farmer named Ciccio. Nearby, her younger sister Maria secretly watches. Bianca and Ciccio share a stolen, passionate kiss before he whispers that they'll meet again soon. As he leaves, Ciccio turns to Maria and pleads with her to stay silent. It's no innocent romance. Ciccio is already married to Lucia and has a son. But Bianca seems unfazed by the consequences. Back at Ciccio's home, his mother Nigita is preparing fresh bread. She casually asks Lucia where Ciccio is. Lucia, clearly growing suspicious, admits she doesn't know. Meanwhile, Bianca's father Ka, the village mayor, and her brother Cosimo are managing laborers on their olive farm. When the daughters arrive with food, Ka gives the workers a short break. But then, something deeply disturbing happens. Ka lures a young girl into the barn under the pretense of rest, only to follow her inside and abuse her. Elsewhere, as Ciccio walks home, another lover confronts him, upset over being neglected. He soothes her and continues on, arriving to visit his son, whom he adores. That evening, during dinner, Ciccio speaks with his mother Nigita, asking if she ever thought of leaving the village. He expresses his restlessness, his desire to escape. He brings up his brother Antonio, who moved away and no longer writes, but Nigita reassures him Antonio always carries their memory. Later that night, Ciccio meets his friend Vincen at a local bar. There they witness a powerful man, Don Luigi, secretly buying olive crops from a poor farmer at exploitative prices. Unable to remain silent, Ciccio steps in, confronts Don Luigi, and boldly offers to buy the crops at a fair rate, an act of defiance that sets him on a dangerous path. Ciccio is sick of wealthy outsiders cheating the local farmers, so after he humiliates Don Luigi in the bar, the landowner only smirks and walks away while Ciccio spends the night drinking with his friends. The next morning, over breakfast, Ciccio argues with his father about the big landowners who keep the poor in chains. His father snaps at him to stay out of other people's business. As Ciccio heads out, his wife Lucia calls after him, hinting she knows he is seeing another woman. In town, Ka overhears Don Luigi grumbling that Ciccio is stirring up rebellion. Ka, eager to protect his own power, reminds the mayor that he owns most of the land and promises to crush the farm workers' unrest. He sends soldiers to rough up rebellious peasants and vows to deal with Ciccio himself. That evening, Ciccio meets Bianca in secret. French love songs float from a small radio while they dance beneath a broad olive tree and talk about running away together. Later, Ciccio's friends cause a scene outside Ka's house. Ciccio calms them, then steps inside, where Ka, playing the genial host, asks Bianca to bring wine and pretends he has never met Ciccio. In front of the whole room, Ka warns that Ciccio insulted Don Luigi. Ciccio answers defiantly that Don Luigi robs poor farmers, buying olives for pennies and selling them for 3 times the price, and swears he will never give in. Ka claps mockingly and shakes Ciccio's hand, but the threat in his smile is clear. That night, 2 farmers ambush Don Luigi's car, beat him, and leave him unconscious. When he reports the attack to the police, suspicion points toward Ciccio. Later, Ciccio sneaks into Bianca's room. They slip to the barn, declare their love, and make love. In the morning, Bianca tells Maria every detail, explaining how she left Ciccio asleep in the hay. When Ka orders Cosimo to tend the horses, Maria volunteers to keep her brother away from the barn so he will not find Ciccio. Soon, Bianca warns Ciccio that her father may know about them. Ciccio comforts her, says he can't wait to see her in a wedding dress, and hands her a letter for Ka asking permission to marry and then leave the village to join his brother. Cosimo soon confirms Ka's fears. He has seen Bianca with Ciccio. Furious, Ka hauls in both daughters, calling them liars. Bianca, unflinching, strips off her clothes and taunts him. Why isn't he enjoying a view, since he likes watching girls undress in the barn? The next day, Ciccio meets Ka alone in the fields to deliver the letter. Ka claims he will need all day to read it, but Ciccio offers to read it aloud. As they walk, Ciccio notes that the soil is still damp despite the blazing sun. Without warning, Ka smashes Ciccio's head with a club, then cuts off his manhood with a blade. The village mourns the brave farmer who fought for them. Ciccio's father washes his son's body, sobbing. Far away, a factory foreman tells Antonio, Ciccio's identical twin, what happened. Police sweep through the countryside, arresting anyone linked to Ciccio, and their families can only watch. Days later, Antonio returns home, embraces his grieving mother and sister, and learns that Mayor Ka was the killer. The family talks about escaping the village. Antonio spends a quiet hour beside his brother's shrouded body. Bianca tries to slip past her own family to visit Ciccio's grave, but she can only stand at a distance, weeping for the love she can no longer reach. The next day, Antonio is set to leave the village, but first he goes to the Asconi house to face Ka. Cosimo shuts the gate behind him, and when Ka finally appears, he sneers, telling Antonio the Paradiso family is not welcome. Antonio calmly replies that he knows Ka murdered his twin, but Ka shrugs that Ciccio got what he deserved, and warns Antonio not to risk becoming the next victim. Antonio says goodbye to his own family, and Vincenz walks him to the bus. Only later does the truth surface. Before boarding, Antonio had slipped back into Ka's bar and killed both Ka and Cosimo, soaked their coats in red dye, and hung them in the town square. Maria's scream rings across the plaza when she sees her father and brother on display. In the days that follow, she and Bianca beg the police for help, but the officers claim they have no authority in the countryside. No one in the village mourned Ka or Cosimo. Needing support, Bianca approaches Don Luigi to manage her father's land. Dazzled by her looks, he offers workers only if she submits to him, so she flees in disgust. Far away, Antonio now works in a foreign factory. Distracted, he cuts his hand and faints at the sight of blood. His fiancée shows him the apartment her father has bought for them, but the gift cannot shake his emptiness. When Antonio's future father-in-law suggests a break, Antonio stubbornly asks for more shifts, earning praise for his drive. That night he writes a letter, but when it returns unopened, he hides it in a drawer, leaves a farewell note, and decides to go home. Back in the village, he surprises his mother, then walks to the Asconi house to ask Maria where Bianca is. While waiting, he notices a photograph of a beautiful woman. Maria says it is their late mother. Puzzled, Antonio questions his father, who reveals a bitter secret. Maria is his own daughter from an affair with Ka's wife, and Bianca's mother took her life long ago. Meanwhile, Bianca finds Antonio's letter. Later, in town, she spots a man who looks exactly like Ciccio. When he turns, she realizes it is Antonio. She asks about the letter, and he softly tells her, "He will marry you now." He asks her to close her eyes, and rose petals drift around her as she appears in the wedding dress Ciccio once promised. The villagers gather as Antonio leads Bianca to the church, the Paradiso family following behind. By stepping into his brother's place, Antonio becomes a new symbol of hope for Bianca and for everyone who loved Ciccio. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, leave a comment, and subscribe.